really diving into some of the nuts and bolts of this platform so you guys can all see exactly what the AstroBlaster platform, its lead generation tools, the community, and all of the training can do for you and your business. Now, if you missed yesterday, don't worry about it. You're actually okay because we're going to really dive into the use cases and the benefits of the AstroBlaster platform today. So if you, for whatever reason, weren't here with us yesterday, don't feel like, oh no, I didn't watch the first half of the movie and now they're already like, at the second half of the movie. I'm going to do a nice recap for you so that you'll be caught up to speed. And it's kind of like watching an episode of Rick and Morty. If any of you guys are Rick and Morty fans out there, you can literally just watch any episode of Rick and Morty you want. And even if you join it a little bit later, you're like, I figured out what's going on here. Crazy scientist, weird kid, having fun. Let's go. Right. So I'm the crazy scientist. We met the weird kid yesterday. Good old Andy Wrong. What a beautiful guy. He was not wrong in what he created in the AstroBlaster system. It is really, really something special. But I'd love to really just quick get a good pulse on who's with us today. So if you are joining us today for the first time and you were unable to join us yesterday, just put an F in the chat so I know it was your first time here. If you are returning, put an R in the chat. So I just want to know who's returning, who's here for day 2, who's here because they missed day 1, but it's their first time. Very, very nice. Very nice. Cool. So we got a lot of you returning. So many of you guys really liked what you saw yesterday and you want to learn a little bit more. So phenomenal. You're going to get all that learning, anything that you need answered today. Anybody who is joining us that is fresh, that's what the F stands for, or your first day, you're going to be absolutely fine. And yes, Lisa Cox, I'm going to make it good. When do I do things that when have I done something that isn't good? Tell me, guys. Have I ever been unentertaining or have I ever felt like I've wasted your guys' time? I think I can say at least that I'm entertaining to hang out with. So hopefully you guys are entertained and you guys are enjoying yourselves and all the things. Dwayne Williams says, "What's this about?" Well, Dwayne, how did you get here? We are learning about an incredible tool that will help you find distressed properties that won't cost you thousands of dollars so that you can become a wholesaler, right? We know in the world of wholesale, you find houses that are in disrepair. You put those houses under contract and you sell those contracts to other people for a profit. And so that's what we're here to do. That's what we're here to talk about. I hope that you haven't just stumbled into this as on accident and you're like really supposed to be on OnlyFans or something, because I will keep my clothes on the entire time. Oh my goodness. You guys are great. You guys are great. If I can hear from those of you that are returning, what was the one thing that stood out to you the most yesterday? What did you, from when Ethan was doing the demo of the software, what stood out to you the most? I'd love to hear the pieces that stood out to you that you really liked. Okay, so yeah, Jason said it's affordable. It is really affordable compared to direct mail, cold calling, all of the other lead generation techniques out there, bandit signs. This is like so inexpensive comparatively. So yeah, great point. It's very affordable. This is live, Erica. I'm here live. Woohoo! So yeah, it's live. You love the automations, Vito? Yes. Miriam says no marketing. Absolutely. I mean, it is marketing, but it's doing a lot of it for you, right? So it's not that I will never tell you that you can be a successful wholesaler without marketing. But you don't have to do the heavy stuff. You don't got to do the hard stuff, right? So that's the piece that this is really solving. Alex said he loved the automations. Yes. Daniel says he loved the automated communications. Diana, the follow up. Diana, you are absolutely correct. Because the follow up is where the fortune is. You guys have probably heard this before. The fortune is in the follow up, and the follow up is where we fail. That's the reality. So we fail to get the fortune because we fail to follow up. Man, that was like a tongue twister and a Dr. Seuss rhyme all at the same time. But it's the facts. Oh, and now I got another F in there. It's a fact, right? When we fail to follow up, we fail to get the fortune, and that's just it. And it's not that we are not good that makes us not follow up. Life happens, right? Life just happens. So we talked about solving the four main problems of a wholesaler yesterday, right? The first one is I got a W-2 job. I got no time. And that's essentially why this tool was created, because Andy, a high school student, didn't have time to do his outreach and to maintain his follow-ups. And because of that, he created this platform, which did all of his outreach for him and did all of his follow-ups for him. And he has built a $50,000 a month business. And he did this at the age of 15. Right? He's 18 years old now. This guy's 18 years old. He's making more money than your average lawyer. And he's like a handsome guy too. I mean, like, it's like unfair. Why didn't I get a life like that? I got to be old and rich, and he gets to be young and rich. So there's like a disconnect there. I wanted to be young and rich, man, not old and rich. Anyways, whatever. Mike says the setup and the flow, nothing is really scary. You're correct. Todd Miller said the automations. Brent Reynolds, workflow automations. What's up, my dude? I love Brent Reynolds. That guy's the bomb. Larry says, how much is it again? Yes, I will very, very quickly tell you guys again. Cat's out of the bag. It's $997 for your setup, and it's $97 a month. That's it. That's it. There is nothing out there that's that inexpensive that can literally do all aspects of the wholesale business for you, right? Because you're going to get the training, right? I told you I solved the problem of the time, because if you have a W-2 job right now, it's going to do the work for you while you're at your job. The second problem was money, right? We don't have the money to spend. The average cost per contract across all of the lead generation techniques in wholesale is like $7,000 cost per contract. That means it costs you $7,000 to get one deal under contract. And we haven't even sold the deal yet. What happens if you cancel the deal? What if you cancel the contract and you're unsuccessful? $7,000 wasted, right? So if the average is $7,000 across all of the techniques, this is $1,000 setup and then $97 a month, and that's all you spend, right? So if you think about it, the ROI on this product is absolutely, like, it's just goofy how good it is. There's going to be a link in the chat because we have a few seats left. I told you guys we had 50 seats open. We've got about 15 of those remaining today. So who's going to get it? I don't know. And because of that, I'm not going to wait till the end of the hour to send the link out. We're going to post the link right now. So if you, while you're watching this, you're like, I heard enough, Jamil, I'm ready. I want to be a part of this community. I want to learn. I want to do this. Click on the link and get it done and claim the seat before somebody else does. All right. So we solved the problem of time. I solved the problem of money, right? Because for what we're getting here, like it's just incomparable to other lead generation techniques. And then the other problem we had was we don't know what to do, right? We're brand new at this. And I don't know all the nuts and bolts of wholesaling. I don't have a clear picture of what happens when. And so Ethan and I and Andy, we created a course for you guys within the actual platform that you get to watch. And it gives you all of the information. I teach you how to comp using my appraisal rules. You learn what all of the terms are. You learn which contract to use when. You learn what a title company is and how to manage an escrow. There's so many moving pieces in this. And so getting that knowledge is super important. And there's people out there charging $50,000, $60,000 for the information that's in that course. That's literally coming with that's coming with the AstroBlaster system for free. Like, so you can go pay some jackass 50 grand if you want, or you can just get the information you're looking for in the course or in the platform, which is there. And then the community, right? Ongoing support. Let's not kid ourselves into thinking that we don't need accountability, that we don't need sometimes somebody to say, "Hey, dude, did you get it done? Do you need some help? Are you okay?" Right? We all need that. We all need a helping hand out there. We all need some people to help keep us motivated. Why do you think people spend millions of dollars a year on personal trainers when we got tonals, we got pelotons, we got all these equipment out there that you can buy right now that'll show you what to do? Why is there still such a thriving personal training industry out there? Because people need accountability, they need help, right? And a community is where you get that. And so one of the pieces that you do receive with the AstroBlaster platform, all in that little price of $9.97 and then $97 a month, all of that, you get weekly coaching, you get, daily coaching calls, right? We hop on a coaching call. I'm in there. I do coaching calls with you guys too, which is, I think, pretty cool considering I've done 7,000 plus wholesale deals. I have the largest wholesale operation in the country. You get to just chat with me and ask me questions about deals. I mean, that itself is worth the money that you're paying for the AstroBlaster. Just saying. And I'm not saying that because I think I'm cool. I'm saying that because you have to pay for the experience that people have in a business. That's just how life works. I have more experience in wholesale than anyone else has. I've been in this game longer than most people, and I've done way more deals than anybody. And that's a proven fact. That's something that I've never been. I have nobody's come out and say, "Hey, Jamil, I think I beat your record in deals." It doesn't exist. But enough about me. Lourdes says she loves the AI's ability to reach out multiple times until the bite happens. James said, "I love the whole shebang. Complete game changer." Absolutely. Diana said, "Doing the marketing for a fraction of the price." Amen. Miriam says, "No cold calling." Yep. Milton and what's up, Milton and Karen? How you guys doing? Those are my homies. They say they just love the campaigns, right? They love being able to start those campaigns and keep it pushing. Alex says he loves how the AI can respond to messages accordingly. We'll see more of that today, guys. There's an automation in here. Are you a fan of who in here is a fan of a good GIF? I'm a fan of a good GIF, right? Like I'm meme king. And if you're in a group chat with me, man, I'm gonna hit you with some GIFs. I'm gonna get you with some GIFs. Right when you least expected, slap you in the face with a GIF. And it's really important to, like, there's an art to GIFs. There is. I'm just saying there's an art to it. We have programmed the AI in this to have that art form mastered, and it'll actually send GIFs to the agents that it's communicating with on your behalf, which I just think is hilarious because this robot is sending GIFs, is actually got a sense of humor, and it's sending GIFs to your agents so that your agents are like, this has to be a person. Who else would send me a picture of Forrest Gump right now? So you'll see that in a minute. Ricky Rod said the sauce is in the follow-up. You better believe it is. Julia said it's a great software. I agree. Isaiah said I left with 5 minutes left yesterday. Oh my goodness, Isaiah. You're like that guy who's like right at the end. He's like chipping away, waiting for gold. So you have the link is up there, Isaiah. Go get it. You're here to learn the other Isaiah. Let's go. All right. So let's get popping here. I think we should get right into it, right? For all of you who are here to learn, let's learn. So without further ado, let's bring up Mr. Ethan so we can dive back into the platform and we can blow your brains. Ooh, that had an echo. What's up, baby?
What's going on, brother? How are you?
I'm awesome, dude. How are you?
Cannot complain. Cannot complain at all.
How old are you, Ethan?
About to turn 27 years young.
27 years young. And I would just really want, we didn't really get to talk a lot about like some of your goals, but one of the things I really love about Ethan is that when I first met him and we got to become friends and I got to see the things that he's been doing in his business. One of the things he says to me, I'll never forget, and that's why I bring it up, um, is that his goal is retiring his mother, right? I'm a mama's boy, right? I'm a big mama's boy, and I love my mom. I love my dad. And I feel like the day that I got to give to my parents the gift of retirement, to be able to say to them, yo, you're done. You don't have to do anything anymore. You get to live, enjoy. My sister and I, we've got it. We have a beautiful home where you guys get to live. You get to watch your grandkids grow. It's the most, it honestly is like the most fulfilling thing I think I've done as a man in my entire life.
Yeah.
Ethan, talk to me a little bit about that, right? Like, how close are you to retiring mom, and like, what's that all about?
Yeah, man. Honestly, it's funny because also transparently, I literally just shared the news with you, but I actually have been wholesaling in Florida, all virtually. I live in New York for the past 2 years. So utilizing the AB system, I've been able to do everything without ever having to step foot in a house. I'm just about to move to Florida next week. And always growing up, it's literally just been my mom, my grandmother when she was alive, and that was pretty much it. Um, I'm at the point to where our business, technically, could I retire her right now? Yes, but it wouldn't be the wisest business move.
Okay.
Uh, but at the end of the day, I said to her, you know what? I'm going to be going to Florida to build this infrastructure to get you to the point of being retired in the next 6 to 12 months. It is probably the hardest decision of my life to just have to leave her here. Of course, we have some family within driving distance, but she'll be alone. Um, but that's my goal moving down there, is to really retire her within the next 6 to 12 months. And I know wholeheartedly through the business that you've been able to mentor me in, and really just being actually local to my market, I know I'm going to get that goal in the next 6 to 12 months.
Well, dude, I love the fact that you shared that right now. And I think that, we've got a couple hundred people here with us across Zoom and YouTube. We're all rooting for you.
Yeah.
And I not only rooting for you, but like going to continuously check in, and like I want to hear that story. So when the day that you get to retire moms, okay, you and I are going to go live, and we're gonna just do an appreciation, a mom appreciation live one day, and just talk about how what it feels like, and like share with people that the joy of that sensation. I had the gift of being able to retire my mom and dad, right? So I know what that feels like, but I didn't have a social media platform when I had the opportunity to retire them. And so I didn't get to share with people the majesty of what that felt like. And I think, it would be really cool for you to do that and share with people what that sensation feels like, and like why, and all those things. And on that, at the time when you do it, because there's somebody out there right now. I know there's people watching this right now who love their parents as much as you love your mom, and they
Right.
want to do the exact same thing. They just don't know how to do it. And once we can see, it's like the 4 minute mile. When you see the man or you see the woman, break the record and actually, run a 4 minute mile. Up until that point, no one could do it. They said it was physiologically impossible, that we would explode our lungs. And
Right.
then as soon as we get there, as soon as we hit that and we see someone can do it, the domino falls and all of the limits drop. And 4 minute miles an hour, like a dime a dozen,
Right.
right? But at one point, it was a superhuman feat, right? And so I feel like if you can show people what that looks like and feels like, and you'll give somebody something to anchor to as an inspiration, and they'll be able to follow suit and do the same thing for their family. So I'm excited to do that with you. But
Awesome.
let's get to it today. Let's share your screen, and let's give the people what they're here to see, which
Yes.
is more of the incredibleness of the Astro Blaster platform. So what are we looking at today, my bro?
Yeah, so yesterday, guys, we did a lot of the background behind what does the follow-up automations look like? What does that offer blaster system look like? That the
Yep.
offer blaster having that ability to utilize AB as your CRM, but also having that ability to automatically come up with your offer numbers for you, and be able to auto generate and send that offer letter over to that realtor. Today, I
Now I
want
know, Ethan, I know that Offer Blaster was something that was added after the fact, right? Like it wasn't the original Astro Blaster system didn't have the Offer Blaster system within it. Spencer Herman asked the question saying, are we going to update the software in the future, and will everyone be able to have an update? Here's the answer, Spencer. Exactly that. Offer Blaster wasn't originally in the AstroBlaster platform, and once it was developed, we put it in, and every user got to have it. So of
Right.
course, we'll be continuously updating the system, improving the system, and Spencer, you will absolutely benefit from that ongoing as we go along. And then Jennifer said something with respect to saturation in markets. And I really don't believe that that's a real thing, Jennifer. I know that you're going to be like, whoa, what are you saying, Jamil? There is saturation. The reality is that there's always been competition, but we play and we thrive in competitive markets. Now, the fact that your personality is going to be enmeshed with the messaging that's in here, the reality is most people actually don't do the work, right? They don't. Most people don't do the work. And, the AstroBlaster system has been around for over a year. Uh, Believe me, if we were going to see a saturation, we would have seen a saturation. It just doesn't work like that. Right. And so that's a scarcity thought. That's a lack mentality there. Not to say that you are suffering from that, Jen. But what I am saying is that we want to shift the perspective. There's there are plenty of deals out there, and your deals will get to you. It's all about timing, it's all about consistency, and believe that. It's really what that is. And so as you continue doing this, Jennifer, you're going to see your deals will find you as long as you're receptive to do it. So anyhow, Ethan, carry on.
Yeah, and honestly, even just to quickly mention, I operate entirely without Florida. One of our best users that's going to be hopping on later today, Sean Castro, he also operates in Florida. Him and I technically are competitors, but there's so much opportunity. There's months where I'll do 50,000 plus. He literally just had a $50,000 deal, not to steal too much shine off of him, but there's so much opportunity. I saw a completely absurd statistic. I believe in like 21 or 22, there was over 7,000 real estate transactions in just Florida alone. Even if you're able to carve out just 50 or 100 deals just for your own business in that 1 year that averages 10,000 bucks a deal, that's not a pretty sizable income. That's such a small percentage comparative to all the activity that's happening in your local
Very
market.
true.
So it's
It's
not
very true.
necessarily something that I even ever partake in, because I firmly believe that's what's mine is what's meant for me is supposed to be mine. What's meant for Sean, what's meant for whoever's is meant for them, right?
Yep.
So yeah, from there, just really diving in, I wanted to essentially show what does that initial conversation actually look like with that realtor, right?
Right.
So whenever you're just joining on, one thing that I don't actually believe we mentioned yesterday was when you first join on, where are you supposed to get this list of realtors, right?
Yep.
That's something that we obviously want to be able to give you that tool, but you may not necessarily know. Do you have to go to a title company? Where do you get this list of realtors? At sign up, pretty much we give you a menu of about 60 plus markets that we have across the country, anywhere between from California all the way to New York, Florida. Any market, any major market that you may be thinking of, we have a skip traced realtor list of realtors that are active with 99.9% accuracy of mobile phone numbers. So this way you're assured that you're not spending money or even just time texting landlines. These are individuals that are still active in their local market, and we've ensured that these are mobile phone numbers. So this way, if you texted them and they didn't answer, don't worry, that's a mobile phone number, and then they'll keep getting texted every day until they respond. So one of the things I actually wanted to dive into first is, what does that initial conversation really look like with the realtor? Within the system, and then also within the community in the video courses, we teach a couple of different options, really 3 different options that we really go over in regards to that initial conversation, right? So the initial conversation can be done a couple of different ways. The very first way, and taking it pretty old school, is just going to be straight up just cold calling that realtor. Of course, a lot more time intensive, and just a lot more time intensive, of course, is just going to be a lot more listening to a dial tone, but is going to be the most effective way in order to actually just hear if that person's able to help you, how you can help them. That realtor can understand what intentions you have for the relationship. So
Right.
cold calling is always going to be the best, but it's obviously a lot more time intensive and might not be the most viable option for you. if you're a busy W-2 individual, family person, etc. So option number two is we can full blown just keep all the conversation via text message. And I can show you guys exactly how we can keep it all via text message. That's option number two. And that is very, very effective as well. Option number three, which is more or less a hybrid of the two, which is my personal favorite, is going to be essentially you sending out a campaign. We're actually going to send out a campaign right after I show this to kind of show you guys how easy it is to even schedule. But that first, the option number three being much more of a hybrid. So you sending out a message that says something along the lines of, hi, my name is Ethan Armijos. I saw you were pretty recommended as a realtor and was hoping you can help me with a purchase in Houston. Is it okay if I give you a call between the hours of 3 and 5, 5 and 7? Now, you might be saying, well, Ethan, you're still getting on the phone with these people. How does that save me time? The reason how that can save you time is essentially these individuals are going to be expecting your phone call during this particular time period. So yes, you will be taking the time to speak with them over the phone, but you're not necessarily actually spending 8 hours a day listening to a dial tone the entire time. This way, if you're sending out this message to 50 people, odds are you're going to get a minimum of 30 to respond, of which 30, if you speak to those 30 people in that condensed 1 or 2 hours, these individuals are expecting your call. You're essentially creating that appointment for yourself. So me, on average, my team, they'll call for like 7 to 8 hours a day. And out of 100 unique phone calls, they'll speak to like 50. So
Right.
they're calling 7 to 8 hours a day, cold calling, and they're speaking to 50 people. It's not the most efficient use of their time, but that's what we do. Now, if you do this model where if you carve out 2 hours of your day, maybe after you get out of your 5 p.m. shift, or if you understand that maybe your kids go to bed at a particular hour, you know what time during your day where you can get some stuff done.
Yeah,
If you're
some people are like, yeah, I'm on MST or PST, and they're like, because Eastern is 3 hours or 2 hours ahead sometimes, if
right,
they'll wake up a little early in the day and they'll spend the first couple hours of their day talking and doing work in the East Coast because they're like, bro, it's already like, 9, 10 o'clock out there. And
right.
it's, I can do this right now in the Pacific Coast at like 6 to 7 in the morning. So it's a
Right.
perfect opportunity. Anyway, sorry to cut you off. Keep going.
No, of course. So yeah, so that's what I recommend to a lot of our users that are individuals that have that 9 to 5 job that they say like, hey, you know what? I can't do the texting thing. I can't text on my computer. I can't text on my phone. What's the best use of my time? Is the hybrid version of them being able to carve out 1 to 2 hours of their day to actually being able to speak to these realtors, understand if they can help, if you can help them as being a viable option for them, if they can help you. And from there, being able to nurture that relationship. But to even show you guys how you can keep this on just strictly text message, I actually just sent out a campaign to only actually, I got a lot of responses yesterday that I had to personally clear out. So I only texted 100 people today. And you'll notice since just 3 p.m. my time, I'm Eastern. So 3 p.m. my time, I've gotten over out of 100 text messages, 61 to respond. So you get a crazy amount of responses. That's why I say be mindful of how much you text. You're going to be getting a lot of responses. So the very first message that I sent out very simply was, and this was a campaign that I sent out. Hey, Virginia, my name is Ethan Armijo. Saw you were pretty recommended as a realtor and was just hoping you can help me with a purchase in Houston. Is it okay if I give you a call after 5 p.m.? So she just flats out asks, hey, are you an investor? And if you guys want to not have any phone calls whatsoever, you just want to keep it through text, we do not have to sit here texting away our lives. What you can do either on desktop, and then what's even cooler is AstroBlaster does have a mobile app. So you can do almost everything that's on the desktop on your mobile phone on the go.
That's
You
so
can
dope.
text these realtors, you can call them, you can edit out all the automations that are initiated via tags. You can do everything via the mobile app. So this individual asks, are you a realtor?
That's actually, bro, I'm sorry that we didn't bring that up yesterday because like
Oh, you're good.
for me that's a huge deal. Like
Right,
the mobile app is where I'm going to excel on it because like I'm on my phone through the
right,
day, right? And so that's for me how I'm possibly going to be wanting to do this, right? Like I want to be able to get on my phone. I got a little bit of time in between. I want to, check my messages, respond, maybe hop on a call if there's a lead there. And so the fact that I don't need to be on my desktop like that right there, that's what makes this sustainable for me as a person who's, especially if I got a W-2 job out there and I need to be, active in my work, but I have a lead in my pocket, bro. Like this really is that right there is incredibly useful. So carry on. Thank you. I just wanted to point that out for those whose minds were as blown as mine is that mobile app is like, that's the jam.
Yeah, and it's not even just for just texting and calling. You can initiate all the automations through the mobile app as well. So if you just had somebody you spoke to for the very first time, you just got off the phone, you can put them right into the follow-up automations right through your app. If, say, on that very first call, they were mentioning, hey, Ethan, you called me at a great time. I actually have a property that I just met with the homeowner, and they're a hoarder. They've been stacking up newspapers since 1974. And you're like, wow, okay, tell me more. You can actually go to the notes. You can add that lead in right into your CRM right from your phone. You can do absolutely everything through the app. I honestly use it every single second of my life. So now just kind of even just showing the capabilities of even just keeping everything through text. So it's as easy as, so if you see this Miss Virginia here, are you an investor? That's actually very perfect because my first reply, so you'll notice as it's as simple as literally just adding this tag first reply. You'll notice Miss Virginia here is going to disappear, and then I'll just move on to the next. So you'll notice Virginia was just marked as red. That automation will kick off in the next couple seconds. That Virginia will get responded to saying, hey, nice meeting you over text. Yes, I am an investor. I'm looking for more of an investment property. Is that something you can help me with? So that's going to absolutely answer her message. And then now we'll just move on to the next one. Kimberly, same thing. What part of Houston are you looking in? Well, location is secondary. I want to see if you can help me out with an investment property. So first reply. And you'll see how easy it is to just mow down these conversations. I work in San Antonio. Please give me your contact info and proof of funds, and I'll be happy to refer you. I'll get back to you another time, Susan. Hello, that would be fine. Perfect. Do you work with investors? First reply. And in a couple seconds, I want to just get through a couple other messages, and then I'll actually show you guys what those messages actually look like. Let's see if those went out just yet. Oh, I actually did. Cool. So for Virginia, the first one, so you'll notice, again, what she said. Hi, Ethan. Great houses to buy in Houston. Are you an investor? It's nice to meet you over text. I'm actually looking for an investment property. Is that something you can help me with? Right. So, I mean, you've been seeing exactly what I've been doing, guys. I did not send these messages. These are both completely automated. And at this point, all I'm doing is just waiting for Virginia to respond. The beautiful part about this is if Virginia just decides, again, we're all human, if she looks at my messages and mentally responds but doesn't translate to her fingers, this automation is going to text her every single day for the next 7 to 10 days until she responds. So if she doesn't respond today, no worries. She'll respond at some point because it's going to keep here until she does.
I love especially the way that you do, right? The way that it does, because like it's a real thing, right? If I text somebody and they don't respond to me, I'm not gonna be like, fine then, what I would typically say is, hey, did you get my text? And it does the same thing, right? And then when somebody texts me that, or if somebody texts me and the message gets buried, like today I got a text message from somebody in the community, and they had sent me a message back in July, and I didn't see it. It got buried, and so they just texted me again today, and they were like, hey, is this Jamil's real phone number? I sent you a message earlier. I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Your message must have got buried back in July. I'm seeing your message now. Yes, this is my phone number. How can I help you? And so like, like it happens, right? That just happens in real life. But the fact that she then reached back out to confirm is what now has got me back into communication with her. I wasn't wanting to ignore this person. The message just got blocked or just got buried, right? So this is really cool that it does that intuitively.
Yeah, no, exactly. So even so we got Tawana here already responding to me. Seems super responsive. So we got I texted her, hey, is it okay if I give you a call after 5? Hello, that would be fine. It's nice to meet you over text. I am looking for an investment property. Is that something you can help me with? Yes. Oh my God, what do I do now? We're going back to the tags. We had added her with the first reply tag before. Now, super easy. We just hit her with the second reply tag. Now, what that message is going to send out is going to say, great, I am looking for more of something that needs a little bit of work or a lot of bit of work that I can put some money into and put back on the market or keep it as a rental. Is that something that you typically work with? Right. So now we're actually going to be telling Tawana exactly what we're looking for and if that's something that she can help us with. So now, again, we're just waiting. We're just moving forward here. We're going to be looking for other individuals. Happy to hop on a call with you. Let's just first see if you can work with me on investment properties, Lori. Next one. So guys, you'll see how just intuitive it is, and if I was really going full speed, I was focused. This takes only it would take me probably about 30 minutes, not even to get back to over 60 plus people. None of this requires me to have to really
That's
do
so
much
cool.
of any manual texting unless someone says like, hey, of course I can help you. Do you like mint chocolate chip ice cream? Then it's like, okay, the system's probably not going to understand how to answer that. So I got to answer manually. So this is what the initial conversations really look like. And the intention behind all this is for someone to ultimately say, yes, I can help you out. You know, I don't come across maybe those types of properties often, but I'll let you know if I do. Okay, great. Do you mind if I follow up with you every so often in case you do? Sure, no problem. At that point, you've solidified that they understand what you're looking for, and you got that permission to follow up. At that point, you put them into those individuals into the follow-up automations, and then at that point, you've secured yourself a relationship you can put into the follow-up automations, and at that point, you just want to get as many people into those follow-up automations as best as possible. So that's what the actual conversations look like. And then even just to even send out a quick campaign that really goes deep into, you know, what does that look like? Do I have to do it right now? Can I do it on my phone? How do I send out these campaigns and what does that look like? Super easy once you really get into the rhythm of it. Let's say I want to send out a campaign over to about, you know, let's just say 50 people for tomorrow. All I
Okay.
got to do is just select these 50 people. And then I'll click on this little funny little robot where it says add to automation.
Mm-hmm.
And then from here, we'll just click on OK, proceed. And then we'll just type out the automation that we're looking for. So we're looking for a friendly approach realtor. Now,
Hell yeah, dude. This is crazy.
so yeah, it's we have a couple of different options here. So we have the ability to add all at once. So if I click on add to automation, it's going to text all 50 people right now. If you're not doing much for the next hour, like I said, I texted over 100, got about 60 responses as of right now. I would be busy for about 30 minutes to an hour having to go through all those conversations. So that's not what I typically advise, especially getting north of like 50 contacts. So add all at once. Again, once you click on add to automation, everybody's getting hit up right now. If you want to do the second option, add all, but at a scheduled time, that means they're all going to get hit up now, but at any point in time that you want. So if you say, okay, I want to text all 50 people, but tomorrow at 9:30 a.m., that's what the second option means. But what I always advise is going into add in drip mode. Add in drip mode, what essentially drip mode really means is say action. I'll just do agent outreach 9:12. So that's just labeling what I'm about to do. Let's say I want to schedule this for tomorrow at 9:39 a.m. because I like odd times. So Thursday,
Well,
9:39
and
a.m.
why do you like odd times? Because there's a method behind that, right? Why do you do that, Ethan?
Really, because I just don't want to look like a bot. You know, if you're always texting at 9:45 or 10 a.m. or 9
Yep.
a.m. and
Yep.
you're doing that every single 2 weeks, it just looks like a bot, you know? So if I'm texting them at 9:21 in the morning, doesn't seems pretty
And you
regular.
could actually send out like a voice memo to all these people at as well as your first thing. Hey, like, hey,
Yes.
good morning, looking for a deal today. And you could send that message out to all the agents if you wanted to. Because like Jennifer was saying, is there a voice bot? Yeah, you are the voice. You can record the voice in there and you can send that voice message out to all of these agents at different times. I mean, it really is incredible how many different ways that you could do this, right?
Right. No, yeah, there's quite a bit that we've thrown into all the automations. Everything from, of course, automated text. We have those ringless voicemails and emails. So you can attack them from a lot of different angles to really get the realtors' attention as best we can. So again, going into add the drip mode, I'm going to be scheduling this for tomorrow morning, 9:39 a.m. and I selected 50. So let's say so what's best, what's add and drip mode, who is this best for, is going to be the individuals that maybe busy, maybe a busy W-2 individual, or that family person that doesn't necessarily want to get bombarded or overwhelmed with over 50 people texting them at once. So
Right.
what's really great about this is if we sparse it out, it's obviously a lot more manageable, and ultimately you have no excuse to not have these conversations. So if you want to sparse this out a little bit more, what you can do is, hey, AstroBlaster, I want you to start at Thursday at 9:39 a.m., bright and early, and I want you to text 5 people every 1 hour.
That's
So
dope.
texting over 5 people every 1 hour until you've exhausted that 50. If you text 5 people every 1 hour, realistically, maybe 2 or 3 of them are going to answer. It's always about a 50% response rate initially. You get more on those follow-ups later on, but initially about a 50%.
Which
And
is crazy, by the way. I
yeah,
mean, a response rate of 50% in anything is incredible.
yeah, because
Like it really is. What direct mail, you know what the direct mail response rate is?
not enough,
1%.
bro. Yeah, that's
1%.
That's nuts. Yeah. So
It,
with this, it's like if I text 5 people every hour, I'm expecting 2 to 3. I can handle 2 to 3 conversations, right? Like that's super manageable. I feel like not a lot of people can really make the excuse of not being able to answer if you text maybe 2 or 3 every hour, and just kind of doing that throughout the day. And before you know it, you've spoken to 30 plus people throughout the day. Out of 30 people, probably created 20 relationships. And if you're able to do that over the course of a month, you have hundreds of people you're now texting every 2 to 4 weeks saying, hey, do you have anything at the moment? That's the power of what AB really is. So that's the power of the campaign. And essentially, from here, all I really have to do is click on add to automation. And now this is going to be in the queue for tomorrow. So if you click on bulk actions, you'll notice that now this is in the queue for tomorrow. If I click on view details, you notice here, scheduled for September 12th, 9:39 a.m. I'll be texting 5 people every 1 hour. So now that campaign will officially be going out, and it's as simple as that. Now, tomorrow, you can get into your day not having to do a thing. You can be sipping your cup of Joe in the car, and before you know it, realtors are going to be texting you on your mobile app, and it's as simple as that. So now, just what does it look like full swing, right? So so I really wanted to show you guys what an actual conversation will really look like from start to finish. And what I mean by finish is a realtor actually giving you a deal, right?
okay.
I know we saw Matt yesterday about what a lead actually looks like, but even just coming from my end, again, guys, I'm a personal user of this thing. That's how I got involved in AstroBlaster in the first place. So Jessica Johnson is someone that I literally just closed a deal with, I want to say 1 or 2 weeks ago. This resulted in a pretty sizable fee. So literally we just met her back in March. So we met her, we sent out the buy box automation, which is another automation, guys, that there's so much stuff that sometimes we forget to even mention, where once you develop that relationship with the realtor. So we met with Jessica, we cold called her. One of my team members called her, we developed that relationship, and then my system automatically for me introduced myself. And and the system detected that we received her email, and my system automatically for me sent her my buying criteria. And not only just my buying criteria, but also I have in my personal buy box automation, I have my proof of funds letter attached to it. So this realtor just looks like I'm super professional. I'm sending her exactly what I'm looking for with my proof of funds, and it just looks like I've been here before, right? So this is all without my doing. These messages, this text message with this buy box email, all automated. So now just kind of scrolling through, you'll start to notice a few touch points that are automated. So these are actually going to be now just reading. These are all manual touch points because my guy actually mentioned that, hey, this realtor has
Let's
a
hear some of these messages though. Like that, like I want to like were there some automated voice drops or things that it sent out here that because I want people to be able to see what that looks like. Is there anything that happened in this one?
Yeah, so you'll notice these are all automated text messages. So you'll notice like ever since we spoke with her in March, excuse me, we have not heard from her at all until May. So these are all just text messages at the moment. And now we're fast forwarding into the end of May. So from March until the end of May, now we're starting to hear about her, right? So now we're just getting back to her. And now this is just, she told me about a lead. So now we're actually manually following up now because we got a lead on the hook, right? So I believe this one didn't really amount to much. So we'll just breeze by that. And then now we got the lead that actually ended up getting into a deal. So guys, it really took from March up until the point of May, where we really started getting something, and now we're in June, right? So we got this offer letter for Cami Street, where we ended up closing this deal out. Oh, actually, now that I'm actually memorizing and actually looking at the conversation here, I guess it took some time. So we sent out the offer letter for Cami Street. So this was the deal, guys. So this was the deal, and we sent it out back in early June. So I guess it makes sense. Probably took some time. I just closed it last week. So we sent the offer letter out in May, June. They probably denied it. I actually don't even remember this. They probably denied it. We probably had some back and forth, and I probably put her back into the automations where I just said, screw it, we'll just follow up with this offer, because now these are automated messages again. So
Right.
I just wanted to follow up, see how you're doing, looking to purchase 2 to 3 properties. Again, no responses. Hey, did you get my text from the other day? No responses. It's okay. The system will do the job. And now we're at the point of sending some GIFs where now it's
Hilarious.
so now it's funny. Like the GIFs always get a good response out of it. So we got Tom Hanks going, and have anything decent, and hey, I have a fixer upper in Brooksville that just fell through. And it's funny now. It's actually funny now. It's jogging my memory. So I did submit that offer, I think, like a month ago, and I think she told me that somebody else had fallen through. It's the one that previously fell through. Address and price. She gave me the address again. We
Yep.
recomped it. We were able to get it under contract. And long story short, this is all manual mumbo jumbo, but you'll see here at the very end. Yeah, I'm so glad we closed. And if I have this here,
And
you'll
did you assign this one, double close it? How did you sell that? How did you get rid of this one?
Yeah, so I ended up using I think I ended up on this one using another dispo wholesaler. So we see here, guys, 6400 Cami Street, settlement date 8/30/2024. So this literally just closed less than 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
So this property, I ended up making a whopping 11,000 with
Hell
another
yeah.
acquisitions wholesaler making $6,500 on this one.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So you
So
made 11 grand. Your dispo wholesaler made 6,500. So Junior is asking, I thought we didn't have to close these. You don't, bro. He when he says closing it, he means the entire deal closed.
yep,
He brought a buyer to the table, it got assigned, and he actually used a dispo wholesaler to help him sell it. They assigned it, and then everybody got paid. So that's just the process of wholesaling. You don't close these, you assign them, and your buyer ends up closing them.
yep.
But all of these things, there's a lot of questions in the chat right now about like proof of funds and earnest money, and how do we deal with non-exclusive buyer agency agreements. We can, guys, these are all like really like in-depth questions about like mechanics and structure. We'll happily answer in our Q&As in the AstroBlaster community. So if you guys are having questions like about the nuances of wholesaling, that is a perfect place to bring those questions to, are those Q&As, so we can get into the nitty gritty with you guys and actually get into your deals and help you along.
Oh, bro, and I honestly love those questions. Sometimes when I'm on my Q&A calls, I love having people understand the system a little bit more, but I love when people come to the Q&As with actual like, hey, I'm in a deal right now. They want me to sign this buyer broker agreement. Can you review it? Sure. They'll literally share their screen, and I'm like, yeah, don't sign that, bro. This is an exclusive. You're going to be locked in to this realtor for 6 months. I love those real estate questions because like it gets everybody closer to a deal faster.
Yep.
So I love my Q&A calls. They're honestly they make my weekend.
I get it. I'm in the same boat.
Yep. So that's essentially really A to Z, guys. What the actual, like, hey, this is the hello, and this is what the lead will look like. And this realtor was super appreciative that we were able to get this done, and had previously fallen through. She made more money with me than she would have with any other type of buyer. So because not only did she represent the seller, but she represented me, double-ended everything. And
Wow.
I'm happy that she was able to really take advantage of it. So
And guys, I just want to highlight, so Jessica here right now loves Ethan because Ethan got the deal done. Ethan allowed her to make twice as much money as she would have made selling it through another real estate agent. And so who do you think she's going to call when she has another hoarder house that she doesn't know what to do with? Who do you think is going to be the buyer for that? Who do you think she's going to reach out to immediately? This is why real estate agents trumps going direct to seller or any of these other methods, because you build relationships and then these relationships bear fruit over and over and over and over. He had to earn her trust one time, and now he's got her for life. Right now, he's got her. And as long as Ethan continues to follow up with her, she's going to remember the really easy transaction. That's how this gets done, right? This is why I became so successful in wholesaling, is because I did it. I didn't do the direct to seller route. I did the agent route. And now I have a nationally franchised company doing thousands of deals because all those relationships compounded into this massive wholesale company. So if you build it right out the gate, you don't have to worry about where's my next deal coming from. Your next deal's coming from where your last deal came from.
Exactly. And honestly, bro, I've had multiple agents. There's this one particular agent where I had literally just met her, I believe in May, and we've already done 2 deals together. And she's I don't know how she's doing it. I think she's starting to start doing some direct to seller to these crap houses, because she's sending me like an off market property every other day that she's speaking directly to the seller.
Amazing.
And she's, bro, like, it's funny. The other day, I literally texted her saying, like, because right now we don't have any deals on the table right now. There was a point to where me and her were texting every single day, calling for like a minimum of a half hour every day, talking to each other. And I'm like, hey, we don't got any deals going right now. Like, it's kind of weird not talking to you. And she's like, oh my God, me too. Like, we need to get another one soon. That's like, I like, that's the power of these realtor relationships, because this realtor, she's pretty successful in like the 600 plus retail houses. Now, this is a completely different array of real estate where I'm sure she was probably just denying it. The first deal that we ever got done together, it kind of just fell in her lap. It was an inherited home from another previous customer. It fell in her lap. This is not her typical array of real estate. But now, because of how much action we can get done together, and on these $200,000 to $300,000 houses, she's getting paid 10K on each transaction because he's representing the seller and myself. It's comparative to what she makes selling $600,000 houses, selling $200,000 hoarder houses, and probably even worse than hoarder houses. So that's the real benefit of these realtor relationships. Of course, they can feed you, but it's even more rewarding when you can see that this realtor made 12,000 with me versus
Right.
maybe only $6,000 just representing the seller, you know?
I 100% agree. I mean, this is the reason why my relationship with Monique Walker is what it is, because, her and I have been doing deals for almost a decade now, and she exclusively uses me for any of her problem homes. I make anywhere between, I think last year we did 1.2 million, me, just personally, me. Monique made another 1.2 million. That's one person, guys. That's one person that I do over $1 million a year in business with, one real estate agent, right? Now, again, I make way more than $1 million a year. So I have relationships like that with dozens and dozens and dozens of agents. And then my reps have relationships like that with hundreds and if not thousands of agents. But you can see how this makes sense, right? You can see how, oh, I get it. I get all these relationships compound. And now I have this influx of inbound leads. And just like Ethan had said, you and this agent now become kind of like a team, and you're texting each other constantly, and you guys are working with each other constantly. And then that synergy grows and it turns into a really, really, really cool partnership and relationship that ends up paying you for the longevity. So, nothing against direct to seller, but direct to seller can't be leveraged like this. That's just not how it works.
And also, it's just, quite frankly, it's not friendly to that individual just starting out. It requires you to have to understand the psychology of a seller. It, of course, takes a lot of money to make money. I know with what you went over yesterday, just overall between whatever different marketing channels, it costs thousands of dollars to get a contract. I don't know about you, but when I was just starting out, I did not have $50 to put to anything. So
Yeah, I
the
get it.
idea of spending, $3,000 to $5,000 just to get a contract, not even like with the promise that this will end up to the closing table, just a contract, right? You still have to sell that puppy. That's not even a guarantee that you'll make any money on it. It's not the friendliest thing, especially as a someone just starting out.
Totally agree. Any last bits and pieces here that you think would be important for folks to see before we head over to Sean?
Yeah, at the end of the day, guys, the tool is great, but at the end of the day, what's even more important is going to be the individuals that you know you can rely on when it comes to any of the questions you may have, or because especially as a beginner, you don't know what you don't know, especially going into a conversation with a realtor for the first time, even them asking, hey, what are you looking for? Can you sign this buyer broker agreement? Once you actually get a lead, what do you do with that lead, right? The courses are great. The education is great, but the community and what we're really able and the value you can really get out of the community is unlike any other. I did my deals within my first year to year and a half solely with other community members. So this way I could focus on what was important to me, which was just acquiring all my own deals. It was the community, it was the community that really just allowed me to shine and building my own pipeline and not having to just split my attention, right?
Right.
Between acquisitions, dispositions, um, tool, fantastic to get leads, but the community above all else, and just really what you're able to get out of the system in regards to just the tool, education, community, comparative to anything else on the market, bro. It's silly the amount of value that we've put together.
100% agree. Adore you, Ethan. You're just one of my favorite people. You guys, everyone who's here with us today, can we give Ethan some love? Let's see all the emojis, all the, throw him some hearts, throw him some thumbs, give him some claps, everybody give Ethan the clap.
I got a girlfriend. I can't bring nothing back home.
That was a good one. We love you, dude. You're phenomenal. You're a beautiful human being, and excited to continue to work with you and to be on your weekly calls. Or sorry, on your bi-weekly calls in the community. Because I know you give so much value to the community, and you're loved and very much respected for it. So,
Love you, bro.
again, thank you so much for everything that you do, all that you bring to the table, and congrats on all the success. And we're retiring Mama in 6 months, bro. So I'm holding you to it. Let's
Yes,
get it,
sir, brother. Love you.
my
Love you
man.
guys. Talk to you
Love you
soon.
back. Wow, that was absolutely beautiful. Thank you guys for throwing all the love in the chat for Ethan. He is a jewel. He is just such a huge value to the AstroBlaster community, and a resource, somebody that you can DM, somebody that you can email, call, and he's happy to help. He's happy to jump on and really get into it with you. I included as well, right? I do that with you guys as well. So next, I want to bring up Sean Castro. Now, Sean is a very young entrepreneur in the AstroBlaster community here who has just done some incredible things. I was watching his social media over the last couple of months, and this guy has just been jet setting. I saw him in Colombia one week, and then the next thing I seen, he was in like Norway. I was just like, what the F? Where, like, or he was somewhere in Europe. Like, this guy is all over the place, traveling, closing deals, right? He's making, upwards of 20, 30K a month. And he's got everything that he could possibly want going for him, right? He's handsome, he's rich, he's working from his laptop, and he does it all using the AstroBlaster system. And so I really wanted you guys to meet and hear his story and see, what does his deals look like. We're going to actually walk through one of his deals so you guys can see it. One of the things that I'm really a big proponent of is proof, right? I need to be able to show you guys that this is actually what's being used, and then the actual HUDs, right? I want to show you the reality of it. This isn't about hope certificates. This isn't about this is possible. Like, these are real life examples. This is a real life deal, right? And it's not just him. There's dozens, hundreds, thousands of these being done, millions of dollars getting made in this community. And so, Sean Castro, when you have a moment, please jump up and say hello. Hi, brother. Oh, you're muted right now.
There we go. Can you hear me good?
Yeah, we hear you great. How you doing, baby?
I'm doing good, brother. Blessed. Blessed. How are you?
Awesome, man. Good to see you as always. Um, Correct me because I got some of those countries wrong, but what the hell have you been doing the last like 4 months, man? Like I got massive FOMO watching your social medias. I thought my social media was FOMO. Yours was super FOMO. Like what'd you do?
Yeah, I mean, I was just living that AstroBlaster life. I was in Colombia. I went to Europe. I was in Italy. I was with some other AstroBlaster members. We were on a boat in Croatia for 6 days. Then we went to Spain. And we
So
were
this
just
community has become like friendships and family for you as well, because you're like traveling the world with these guys. Are you doing deals together? Like, what's up with that?
absolutely. I mean, my best and closest friends and even people that I call brothers, I met from this community. So
Crazy.
it's truly life-changing.
Well, walk us back, right? So, how did you get involved with the blaster? What have you been doing with it, and how has it kind of panned out for you?
Yeah, I mean, I've this year alone, we've successfully, me and my team, been able to close 17 deals year to date. I first got started with Astro Blaster.
And what's that 17 deals kind of shake out to in terms of rev?
Yeah, so this year alone, we've been able to clear over $200,000 from those 17 deals, and Astro Blaster is 100% the reason why.
Okay, so over 200 grand. So just to give you guys some quick maths, right? Over $200,000 he's been able to generate year to date. So the year's not even done yet.
Right,
And he paid $1,000 for his setup. And now, because he did that last year, he didn't pay that again this year. He's just $97 a month. So the ROI for you, Sean, is like, what are you, 200 times? What is going on here?
at this point, it's like infinity, you know. I'm
You must be
surprised.
looking at this thing like this is the best thing I've ever put my money into in my entire life.
I'm surprised there's not a like $1,000 per year, you know. And
Yeah, I got to talk to Andy about that. No, but no, this has never been about like gouging anybody, right? Like this is not. And the only reason why we charge the $1,000 setup, in all honesty, is it's expensive to get you guys set up.
right,
We have member success advisors helping you, walking you through the process, going through the A2P registration, getting that all approved. That requires resources and people, and so that the setup is actually there to cover the expenses of setting you up. It
right,
wasn't about a profit for us, right? And so just so you guys can be understanding of that whole thing, and why there isn't like a payment plan on it, because I can't give you a payment plan if it's going to cost me that much money to start up. Because what happens if you disappear in month two? And
right.
I've outlaid all that money to get you set up, and now you're gone. You've decided like I don't want to be a wholesaler anymore. I want to day trade, right? So I
Right.
just wanted to give you guys like a real understanding of why the expense is what it is. But this isn't about like getting rich off of that in that regard. This is really about creating this community so that we can all do deals and get rich together. So you guys can understand a lot of the Astro Blaster community does dispo with my company Keegley. And so I get a lot of benefit from you guys making money because you guys make money with my companies. So for all of you conspiracy theorists out there who are like, why would Jamil be giving this stuff? Like, why would he do this? What is the incentive behind the curtain? I just told you the incentive behind the curtain. I make royalties off of my franchises when they do wholesale deals. When I train people how to do wholesale deals with my franchises, I make royalties. And so there's nothing hidden here. It's a win-win-win, right? And so you make money, I make money, we're all happy. Anyhow, so Sean, 200K year to date, traveling the world. What's next? Like, are you building a team? What's your plan?
Yeah, I have a team right now. It's currently seven of us. We're very acquisitions focused, and we're also growing our dispositions as well. And just continuing to double down on Astro Blaster and the amazing software that it is, and just keeping the main thing, and doing deals.
So let's walk through one of those deals because I know you've got one to share with us here. I
Sure.
want to I want to showcase to people where, they feel like they would have dropped off in the process, cuz like that's one of the things I think being self-aware is really important. When I see these conversations, and I like to think about where would I have stopped and where did the robot carry on for me that made this continue to work, right?
Right.
And so I want to kind of see that in your deal because I love to just kind of see where the human would fail and then where the robot kind of came in and made it happen.
Sure. So I just share my screen.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, so this is a realtor that we closed a deal with earlier this year, excuse me. His name is Javier Moret. Showing the people exactly what you wanted, Jamil. The last time we spoke with him before he sent us that particular lead, hey Javier, any word on that offer? And then he said, basically, don't bring any more of those types of offers. Now, less than
Oh,
30 days later, the system came in and followed up with him,
hold
right?
on. Wait a second. So this agent was kind of a meatball,
Right.
right? Because you said you were like, hey, what did the seller say? And he's just like, never bring me any of these offers again, kind of deal. He was salty at you.
Right. He was. He was.
I probably, in the storytelling that happens in my brain, I probably would have said, I'm not going to reach out to Javier again.
Exactly. Exactly. And I'm guilty of that, right? I'm guilty
Yeah,
of a realtor giving me something I don't want to hear or telling me something that's a little bit discouraging, right? When you put in
sure.
an offer and they respond to you like this, it's like, whoa, you know?
Like
Uh,
this is when we get on the Q&A and somebody says, when I give my offer to an agent, everybody says my offers are too low. This is like an example of that, right? Because you get
exactly.
pissed off or you start feeling bad because you get yelled at by an agent saying, don't bring me more of these offers, please. So like this is where it comes from. So it's
Right.
normal. It's understandable that you feel like, hey, are we doing something like, is this ever going to work? Because these are the responses I got. This is the response I got from an agent. Well, how did you turn it around?
Right. Well, I didn't turn anything around. Luckily, that was not like we said, it wasn't a very um attractive, let's just say, response. And
Right.
it's a little so after that, I just threw him on the automation. I said, hey, I don't even know if this guy wants to deal with me anymore, but I'm gonna take advantage of the system. And so less than a month later, about 28 days later, the system popped in. Hey Javier, hope all is well. Reaching out to see if you have anything I could flip, right? Within I want to say within about 30 minutes, Anderson is actually the name of the person on my team who helped to bring in this deal. That's why it doesn't say, hey, Sean. Uh,
Okay.
yes, Anderson, as of last night, off of the MLS, soon to be listed. So what does that mean? It's a pocket listing,
Yeah.
not
Pocket listing off market. Yep.
811 27th Street, East Bradenton, Florida. It's got all the specs in there. He also listed out, the major items and then the asking price.
Okay.
Here's some photos of the house. You know, here's the proof, right? This is totally legit. And then we kind of go back and forth on the negotiating here. The original asking price was 230. We ended up getting it under contract at 180.
Okay. So you got 50K off of that.
Yeah, while it was a pocket listing, which
Wow.
times is rare, right? To get $50,000 off of the asking price before it hits the market,
Yep.
super, super common. So that was super amazing. Got it under contract at, I'm sorry, it was 170. We ended up assigning it for 180. And then we were able to renegotiate the seller down to 160, making this deal a $20,000 assignment fee. Here is the
Wow.
here is the HUD
You
for
see the
that
address right there, guys? 81127. That all lines up.
right here,
Yep.
8/27th. Ended up closing on 5/28, 2024, excuse me. And then at the bottom here, there's a bunch of, look at all the people that were able to make money on this.
Beautiful.
Incredible. Incredible. So actually, Top Shelf Acquisitions is my company.
Yep.
But the way that I structure and I pay my commission only rep, we had an extension on another deal. So it's not going to show as a full $20,000 here because I paid him out there.
Okay.
Is his, let me see. Yeah, actually, here it is. Haven Enterprises LLC is his entity. So
Okay.
when you add them up collectively, 11
That's 20 grand. Yep.
plus the 84. I prefer to pay my guys out that way for tax purposes, and it just makes my life easier.
Yep.
But those are our two entities, my entity and then the entity of my acquisition rep, Haven Enterprises LLC. If you add up the 11.6 and the 8.4, that gets you 20 grand. So
And there was still another 12,000 made by other wholesalers in the process here as well.
my
So
other
you
wholesalers,
made money, your act guy made money, another wholesaler made money, your buyer got a deal they wanted, your seller got dealt with, your agent likes you. This
right?
is just incredible.
Yep. Unbelievable.
Sean, if there's, go ahead.
Because of
Yeah.
this transaction that we were able to perform on, now I would say this realtor is probably sending us an additional 1 to 2 opportunities per week.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the relationship is the way to go, because now you don't have to, continue to build trust and rapport. You've earned it.
Right.
And so the agent knows you're the go-to guy for these kinds of opportunities. And now it's just a matter of, he gives you an address, you give him a price, he sees if it works. If it doesn't, next one, till you hit again. And that's
Exactly.
the game, guys. That's literally the game.
Yep. Yep. I'm actually in the middle of negotiating, hopefully what would be a third repeat deal, with an agent that I'm trying to turn into my Monique Walker, Jamil. And it's just amazing doing repeat deals with these agents, and just, it's like the gift that keeps on giving,
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I love working.
Beautiful. Sean, thank you again, dude. This was super straightforward, to the point. Guys, over $200,000 year to date, and we're not anywhere near the end of the year. Yeah, we're getting there, but what do you think you'll do before the end of the year?
My goal is 300. That's my goal for the end of the year, 300,000, and hopefully we hit that 30 deal mark. So 30
And
deals.
how old are you?
20 years old.
Oh, he laughs when he says it, because he realizes that it's ridiculous that a 20-year-old boy, I'm going to call you a boy, and you're a man, but I'm going to say, because I'm 45 and I'm old and I'm salty that I'm rich and old and you're rich and young. That's not fair. It's not fair. I wanted to be rich and young. Why did I have to become rich when I was old, so that I could help all you young people get rich?
You paved the way for us, Jamil. You paved the way.
It's all good, dude. I love you, man. You really are killing it, and you deserve it. You deserve all of the fun stuff. You deserve the travel. You deserve the life. You've done the work, and you're continuing to do the work. And guys, Sean is also a real guy. He's in the community, so you see him on the calls. He's there. What do you do in terms of how do people connect with you in the community and be a part of your world?
Yeah, I mean, I'm in the community. I'm in the call, so you guys can reach out to me. You guys can message me on Facebook, just Sean Castro, shoot me a message on Messenger. I'm also on Instagram. You can find my Instagram at Sean the Closer. Pretty active on there. So if you shoot me a message, I'll see it.
Beautiful. God bless you, bro. Keep it up. You are the man. You're the man. Keep it going, man. You got this.
Thank you, brother.
All right. Wow. 20 years old, guys. This guy's 20 years old. 20 years old. He's going to do 300 grand this year. He's already over 200K for the year. Just to recap, right? He spent $1,000 last year on his setup, and he's just been at 97 a month ever since. And for the year, he's 200 grand, right? And he's going to hit 300. I mean, it's a no brainer for you guys at this point right now. If there's an objection in your mind, believe me, that's the subconscious mind right now. It's not the system that's the problem. Right now, your subconscious mind doesn't believe in you enough, because for whatever reason, maybe you haven't actually followed through on things that you've said you're going to do. And our subconscious mind knows that. So it doesn't want us to, spend money on things. If it thinks we're going to poop the bed, we're not going to do the thing we said we're going to do. So that it gives us thoughts, it gives us anxiety, it gives us apprehension. It tries to stop us because we haven't shown up for ourselves in the past. I study the subconscious mind at great lengths, guys. So I'm not just talking out my behind here on this. I try to understand the mechanisms of our brain so that we can be better, and I can do better as a coach and as a human and as a dad and as, and what I teach people. And so that's the reality, right? It's the reality of it all. And so you've seen it. We've shown you guys the system in its entirety. We've shown you guys the incredible benefits. You've seen start to finish what these conversations look like. You've solved the problem of not having the money to do a wholesale deal when an average contract costs $7,000 per contract. We've solved the problem of having to spend tens of thousands of dollars on marketing a month. We've solved the problem of time, because you can do this automated while you're at your job. We solved the problem of knowledge. We are giving you a fully comprehensive training within the platform on how to wholesale and answering all those other questions that you guys had in the chat about EMD and proof of funds and the mechanics of the deal. And then we solved the problem of support and community and having accountability, because we all need that. We all need somebody to razz us a little bit, to make sure that we get up and do the thing we want to do. It's the reason, again, why the personal training industry is as profitable as it is because as people, we just don't show up for ourselves sometimes, but we'll show up if somebody else is counting on us. And sometimes we just need that. We just need somebody else to be counting on us so that we can show up for ourselves. Isn't it crazy how we have to trick ourselves into action? Well, here's one piece that you shouldn't have to trick yourself into. There is a link in the chat that is the button you need to press right now to make a massive change in your life. And it's not going to cost you what it should. This should cost you $10,000. I 100% believe in that. I absolutely do believe in that, but it's not going to cost you that. It's a tenth of that. So what's stopping you, right? Take the leap. You hear it in your mind is telling you this is what you got to do. Your gut is telling you this is what you got to do. And your soul should be saying the same thing. Let's take that leap together. Let's be a part of this community together. And I will see you guys on the Q&A. So for Andy Wrong, myself, the entire AstroBlaster team, we love you guys. God bless you guys. There's a link in the chat. We're going to keep this chat open for quite some time. Can we hear it for everybody who has spent all this time with us for the last couple of days? Give us some love for Andy in the chat. Give us some love for Ethan in the chat. Give us some love for Matt Duke, some love for Sean Castro, and give yourself some love for being that person who showed up. You know, there was so many people who sign up for these kinds of things and they don't show up for themselves. They don't come out. They don't do the thing. But you're one of those people. You're one of those people that shows up and you do the dang thing. And that's why you are special. That's why I will know your name. Link is in the chat, guys. Come join the AstroBlaster community. I'll see you on the Q&A. Take care.